As for Pavel Durov himself, he granted CNN a rare interview in 2016. A few months earlier, the French officials had discovered terrorists used Telegram to carry out the Paris terror attacks. And Durov said end-to-end encryption is an all-or-nothing proposition.
You cannot make messaging technology secure for everybody except for terrorists. You cannot make it safe for against criminals and open for governments. So it's either secure or not secure.
Matías Dewey is there, senior researcher at the University of St. Gallen in Switzerland. Look, he studies encrypted messaging apps and how they're used in illegal markets. I read the fascinating report that you put together on this. Telegram, I mean, look, if you spend half an hour, 20 minutes, 15 minutes in the right chat groups, etc., you will find things of a nefarious, narcotic and illegal abilities. What can Telegram do about that?
Well, I mean, thank you very much. Telegram, it's an application that facilitates continuously illegal trade of different types of products, drugs, images, I mean, originated in sexual abuse of children. I mean, the best way for people to understand how Telegram groups work, it's to imagine a family group on WhatsApp, but also with thousands of members.
But it's the anonymity, isn't it? Because the ability. I mean, law enforcement can go into those groups as well and see who's in there, but they can't see private messages encrypted end to end, and there is a veil of secrecy over those participants.
Certainly, the main Telegram is the king of these type of messaging applications because of the anonymity features. But also, not only that, I mean, this is part of the story. The other part of the story is that Telegram doesn't cooperate with authorities. Because I give an example. Meta has also encryption features. Not all the features Telegram has, but has, for example, encryption, offers encrypted communication. But Meta does cooperate with authority, and this is a problem with Telegram.
Okay, so we've got two things here. We have two issues. We have the either unwillingness or inability of them to remove stuff from the site and from the platform, and you have the unwillingness to cooperate, which I think is essentially what Durov's been arrested over. Telegram's refusing to cooperate. Which of those is more serious, the lack of cooperation or the refusal to remove?
I mean, I would say both. The lack of cooperation, it is more, I would say, it is a responsibility of the company to cooperate with authorities, because this is a global service, but the enforcement is in charge of local authorities in every country. And what happens, at least in my interviews with law enforcement authorities, is that they say, we know the groups, we know what is happening, but the problem is that we cannot do anything because the company doesn't cooperate. On the other hand, the problem is the features. The company keeps developing features for in order to make communication even more difficult to trace.
So is the answer, or part of the answer, the refusal of, say, Apple and the other iOSs and the other operating systems to refuse to have Telegram, pressure being put to bear to refuse to put Telegram on their app stores unless they clean up their act?
No, I don't think so. I mean, Telegram is well known because it doesn't cooperate with authorities, and users know that. Users know that the company is not cooperating. I don't see the problem in other companies don't I mean that they don't want to have a Telegram on the app stores. I think that every user, even more people who are operating in the illegal markets, they know that, and this is the reason because they use the app.
I'm grateful for you, sir. Thank you very much for joining us.
No, you're welcome.
Thank you.